Mr. Dino Parijalal and distinguished guests, I would like to offer my sincere congratulations on the holding of the Global Town Hall 2022. I express my respect for the FPCI's continued active engagement in the field of diplomacy and international politics since its establishment in 2014. In particular, this Global Town Hall, which started in 2020, has served as a virtual platform to discuss our common challenges in the international community, despite the COVID-19 making it difficult to facilitate people-to-people exchanges globally. Today, it is my great honor and pleasure to deliver my message at the third Global Town Hall to students all around the world, academia, government officials, readers from around the world, and diplomatic corps on a timely theme of sustaining peace and development in a divided and dangerous world. About 30 years ago, the Cold War era, in which the world continued to be divided into two camps, came to an end and was followed by the post-Cold War era. Globalization has advanced rapidly in the post-Cold War era, and we could say that it is our region that has gained benefit from globalization more than anywhere else in the world. The Asian economy now accounts for almost 35% of the global economy and is leading global growth. In such circumstances, no one doubts the importance of ASEAN, which upholds its unity and centrality. The world that has brought peace and prosperity to us, as I referred to just now, is currently being shaken at its foundation by Russia's aggression against Ukraine. In particular, it is extremely alarming that Russia is indicating the use of nuclear weapons in Ukraine. The history of the absence of nuclear use for the past 77 years since Hiroshima and Nagasaki should never be undermined. Will we be able to uphold a free and open international order based on the rule of law? Or will we end up allowing the international community to become a jungle where the strong overwhelms the weak and brute force can easily change the status quo? We stand at a historic watershed moment. In addition to the aggression by Russia, we are facing new challenges, such as unilateral attempts to change the status quo by force, economic coercion directed at changing other countries' policies, the spread of disinformation, and cyber attacks. To address those challenges, it would be fair to say that Japan and Indonesia should assume more responsibilities and roles today. Both countries are strategic partners sharing fundamental values, including the rule of law, and therefore we will continue to work together to maintain and strengthen the international order based on such shared values. Then, what should we do in order to sustain peace and development in this world, standing at such a historic turning point? Prime Minister Kishida, at the Shangri-La Dialogue in June this year, announced a 5-pillar vision. The first is maintaining and strengthening the rules-based free and open international order. The second is strengthening security. The third is efforts to bring about a world without nuclear weapons. The fourth is strengthening the functions of the United Nations, including UN Security Council reform. The fifth is strengthening international cooperation in new policy areas such as economic security. Under the global situation I described earlier, in particular, the importance of sustaining and strengthening free and open international order has been increasing more than ever before. Japan's initiative of a free and open Indo-Pacific, or FOIP, has already come to gain broad support in the international community, and we need to promote it even further. Japan will pursue new developments of FOIP and thereby not only strengthening efforts to date, such as infrastructure development, but also making efforts from a new perspective. To be specific, Japan will announce a new FOIP plan by next spring with an emphasis on such areas as providing patrol vessels and enhancing maritime law enforcement capabilities, as well as cybersecurity, digital and green initiatives, and economic security. It is absolutely imperative to work together and collaborate with partners around the world in realizing FOIP, and ASEAN is the key to that end. The ASEAN outlook on the Indo-Pacific was adopted by ASEAN under Indonesia's leadership. The AOIP shares fundamental principles with FOIP. We will commemorate the 50th year of ASEAN-Japan friendship and cooperation next year. Japan will drive forward practical cooperation with ASEAN in order to realize both FOIP and the AOIP. In the meantime, we should not forget the necessity of strengthening the functions of the United Nations either. Since the end of World War II, the United Nations has played a central role in this global governance. The recent aggression by Russia, a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, has again exposed the inherent limitations of the United Nations and the Security Council and indicated an urgent need to review the UN system. In order for the UN to contribute to the peace and stability of the international community as well as to the solution of global issues while continuing to maintain its universality and legitimacy, it must be compensated for its limitations, reformed, and strengthened. It is important to strengthen the functions of the United Nations, including through reforming the Security Council and further utilizing the United Nations General Assembly. Japan will address those issues as a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council from January next year. Since the end of the World War II, Japan has consistently followed the path of peaceful nation and has contributed to the peace and stability of the Asia-Pacific region and the international community. The country has provided development assistance, cooperation based on the principle of human security, and has worked on the formulation of international rules. It has also made contributions to the building of peace through efforts for disarmament and non-proliferation of nuclear weapons. Even in the age of competition among nations and increasing uncertainty, I wish to reiterate that it is our obligation to support the rules-based international order by increasing the number of like-minded countries. Next year, Indonesia will be the ASEAN chair, and Japan will assume the G7 presidency and become a member of the Security Council. It will be the best opportunity to work together to lead the international community. Building on our already strong bilateral relations, we will work together with Indonesia for regional and global challenges to which I have brought your attention today. Thank you very much for your kind attention.